Hey, I'm going to jump right into this. Sometimes you're actually the thing before you're the thing. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't even know who I am, do you? Some of you do, but some of you don't. Let me introduce myself first. Okay, we're back. I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about. What I meant by that is sometimes we want to be something, but we're actually that thing already, but we don't know it or believe it because the world hasn't told us that we're that thing yet, right? Because when the world discovers that you're that thing that you want to be, when it goes, oh, you're that thing, don't you realize for them to discover it, it had to have been there in the first place? I'll give you a couple of stories, one from me and one from a friend of mine. This guy was a martial artist, and I forgot exactly what martial art was because we haven't talked. We're still cool, but I haven't spoken to him about this in a while. But whatever it was, he was one belt away from the black belt, okay, or whatever that was, whatever the equivalent was. Let's say red belt, black belt. We use the red belt as underneath the black belt, just to make a point. So we had this red belt forever, and he's sparring with the black belts and holding his own and beating some of them, and they were really going for it. They were really going after it, not to injure each other, but to spar, to see what your skill was. And he was defeating a bunch of them, but he was afraid to take the black belt test. He was afraid. He didn't want to. Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, these are black belts, and I'm looking at the guy and I'm going, dude, you're actually, you're holding your own with the top guys, and you're beating a couple of them. And if you can beat the black belts and you're a red belt, it means to me, if anybody else looking from the outside, you're a black belt. But he didn't believe it. He was afraid to take the test. There was a psychological block in his mind that stopped him from taking that test. He was a black belt physically and skill-wise, but he didn't want to take the test. He was afraid. He's looking at all these guys with their black belts, and oh man, there was a separation between them and him. He thought he was less than. Oh, these guys are black belts, and I can't. I don't know. I can't get in there with those guys. Those guys are better than me. And I said, you just beat about 75% of them. Yeah, but still, maybe they were taking it easy on me. Maybe they were, maybe they like me. We're friendly. Maybe they just wanted to take it easy on me. You think they're going to take it? You think they're going to take it easy on you? You think they're in front of everybody else, and they're going to let you beat them down? Really? Is that what you think? Even they're telling them to take the test. Hey, man, I sparred with you. I was going for real. I just wanted to see how good you were, man. You're a black belt. No, I'm still a red belt. No. I'm sitting there talking to him at a diner. I'm like, dude, take the test. What if I fail? Okay. You think if you fail the test, they're going to, every belt you got up into the red belt, they're going to go, oh, excuse me, man, you took the test. We thought you were going to try to be a black belt. We thought you were a black belt. We sparred with you, but now that you've actually failed the test, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we're going to have to take back every belt you've gotten over the past 12 years. We're taking them all back. You're going to have to start at white belt again, and you're banned from applying any knowledge that you had above white belt level. Basically, you have to let yellow belts and blue belts beat you down, even though you could defeat them because you're advanced beyond them. Nope. You failed the test, which means you have lost all rights to the knowledge you've acquired over the past 12 years. Here's your white belt. In fact, give me the white belt back. Come closely. Pow! I smacked you with it because you disgust me. In fact, you're banned from the dojo for a year. You take it. I spit on your shoes. And that's the worst case scenario. And that's not going to happen. You know what's going to happen if you fail your black belt test? They're going to walk up to you and go, you failed because of this. And then you're going to find out what that thing that they told you to improve upon. You're going to do what you did for the past 12 years to get up this close. You're going to work on those things. And know what's going to happen? You're going to take the test and pass it eventually. Why would you put 10, 12 years into something and then stop right there? Would you run 26.1 miles of a marathon and go, I'm about to win this marathon, but I've never won a marathon before, and there's some other runners there that won marathons before. How could I win the marathon? I know I'm here, and they're about 500 yards behind me. I'm just going to keep talking until at least 5 of these people pass me, because I don't want to be up on the podium and get a medal. I don't deserve it. No! You're going to break that tape and put your hands up like this and take your medal, sucker. So go take the test. and I browbeat him in a friendly way. I remember the day he took the test. He was nervous. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. You're going to be fine. Take it. You're going to be fine, bro. Take the test. Don't come in and watch me, man. I'm going to be nervous if you're in there. And I'm like, I got a date, bro. I just said I'd drop you off and pick you up and you're done. I'm going to be doing something else while you're taking the test. And I've already passed that test. I digress. So I go off and do what I do, right? Come back to pick him up a few hours later, and he's standing outside with a grin on his face. Why? Because the belt that's wrapped around him isn't red anymore. It's black. He's a black belt at this point. And he sailed through the test. When he took the test, it seemed easy to him. Why did it seem easy? Because he was already a black belt. He just didn't know it yet. He was already a black belt. The world hadn't told him yet, but he was a black belt, and now he actually was a black belt because he was wearing one. That happens to a lot of people. Like I said before when we started this, a lot of times the thing you want to be, you're already there, yet you just don't know it because the world hasn't told you yet. But you got to tell yourself that. Once again, when the world discovers that you're something, you are already that something they just didn't know yet. Now I'm going to give you another story talking about myself instead of my boy, who has passed on, rest in peace. It's my boy. Rest in peace, brother. But I'm going to give you a story about me. As some of you know who've listened to my podcast, my YouTube channel, and all that kind of stuff, this is the podcast, but this will be on a YouTube channel too. I'm a retired stand-up comedian. I did it from 86 to about 2010 with some sprinkled spots in here and there. Like a comic will come to town as a friend of mine. He want to do a couple of minutes, and I'll pop in and do a couple of minutes. Come on, man, you got to bring yourself back to the game, man. You still got it, and all that kind of crap. And I'm going, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I'm going to concentrate on this for now. But we're going to go back to the 80s. The first time I closed a comedy club. The first time. Now, I had been doing comedy for a while at this point. I think 5-6 years. So did I have enough material? I'll explain to you how the comedy club system works very briefly. Usually there's 3 comics on the show: MC, feature, headliner, or host, middle, closer. I had blown past the MC spot and had started the feature or middle, which is the 30-minute spot. The MC does 15, middle or feature does 30, the headliner does 45 minutes, sometimes more than that. But that's standard procedure, 90-minute show. I had gotten to the point where I had 2 hours of material. I only needed 45 to close shows. So what I started to do when I was on in a weekend place, I would go to a place, there'd be 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. On each show, I would do a different half an hour just to amuse myself, just because I wanted to do the material that I wrote. I had 2 hours. Only need 45 to close. So one day, the booker goes, hey, I saw you did a lot of material on the show. Can you do 45? And I said, yeah. Okay. I want you to close the show because the headliner's not going to be here. I'm going to get an MC. I'm going to move the other guy up and you're going to close the show. And I'm looking on the outside. Hey, it is what it is. It's what I do. Inside. That's what I felt like inside because I'd never closed a show for real before. I've been last on some bars. But this was a comedy club. Right? And I was still very young. Everybody in the audience was older than me by a minimum 5 years. Right? And now I'm doing 45 minutes for the first time in front of paid customers. I felt comfortable doing 30 minutes in the feature. I had blown past the MC spot, and now he wants me to close the show. Ooh, scary. I'm watching, and I'm thinking, man, I have 2 hours of material that I'm proud of. All 4 sets are of equal quality. And there's applause breaks in there. There's lots of applause breaks and lots of laughing, but I've never put it together for 45 minutes before. I don't have the muscle memory to do 45 minutes. I've done it a couple times in a bar, but it was because the guy said, keep going if you want to, kid. It wasn't like I was being paid to do it. Pressure was on, and I was very young. What am I going to do? I hadn't even put the sets together. I had different 30-minute sets. I hadn't put together a 45-minute set. It's pacing involved. I watched the other guys who were older than me who had done 45-minute sets and an hour sets regularly. They're used to doing 45 minutes to an hour. They're used to it. I hadn't done it. Oh, I know I have enough material, but 7 o'clock, show's at 8. First comic goes on at 8 o'clock. He gets off at 8:15. The lady goes on at 30 at 8:30. At 8:15, gets off at 8:45. Then it's me. Crowd seems good. I mean, when you're a comic, you can hear the buzz of a crowd, and the way the crowd buzzes, you can tell when you get a good crowd. So it sounds like a good crowd. And I've been on stage hundreds of times. It's not like I haven't done this before. I just haven't done this before. I'm nervous. I'm trying to act like I'm not. But you know when sometimes you try to act like you're not, you look even more nervous than you actually are? Well, no, I was as nervous as I felt. MC comes on, hey, man, you're going to get the clothes, man. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to watch this, man. This is going to be great, man. I told my friends about you, man. Great. He goes on stage, does a great show. Comes off, feature goes on. She's killing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Looking at the clock, 8:38, 8:39, 8:40. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And I'm going to be on that stage doing this for the first time. 5 minutes. I have the material, but I haven't put it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, 8:42. Oh, 8:43, 8:44. Okay. She's closing up. And another thing, the joke. Yeah. All right, everybody. That was blop-de-blob. MC goes back on stage. I'm watching him. And he likes me. We're friendlies. And he's a fan of what I do. So now I'm about to close for the first time. And he's really selling it as I'm watching him. This guy's great. I love him. I brought some friends, man. This is his first time headlining. Why did you tell him that? Right? You just say this next guy's funny. He's played clubs and colleges. I'm looking up at the stage and I'm looking at him like, why did you tell him that crap? And I'm walking to the stage, walking to the stage. And I look back at the audience. They're smiling and everything because the first two comics did great. I walk on stage. And now what I'm about to describe to you right now literally took place in my mind, and they're still applauding because the new guy's walking on stage. But this literally happened within the first couple of seconds. And I'm really just questioning my life choices at this point. Even though I know I'm a good comic, I've never closed before. Okay, I look down and they're smiling because they like the show so far. And I said, well, I know I've done half an hour. So if I just do my first half an hour set, we'll see how that goes. And if it goes the way it normally goes, I should be fine. Looking around. First joke, great. Second joke, great. And now I'm just smoking this joint. I'm blowing the place apart, blowing it out. And I get to the half an hour mark. And now this is the test. And I realized, wait a second, why are you so nervous? You just blown this place out for a half an hour. You got 15 minutes left. You have 3 more half an hour sets to choose from. All you have to do, bro, is just start the next half an hour set. They won't know that it's 2 different sets. Just go through it, and about halfway through, they're going to give you the light from the back, because when you're a comic and you're on stage, they have a light in the back that it's a flashlight or a light that flicks that tells you how much time you have left. You usually tell the manager, whoever's booking it, whoever's handling the show, give me a light at, and he would tell them the corresponding amount of minutes to give the light before your time has elapsed. And I usually said, give me 3 minutes, like my closing bit was 3 minutes at the time. So I see the light. I just finished another joke. And I'm going, all I got to do is my closing bit. This thing always works. I'm pretty much at the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl in a tie game with 2 seconds left on the clock. All I got to do is punch into the end zone and I walk away with a trophy. I was still a little scared because if this closing bit bombs, it's still going to look bad for me. But I'm like, nah, Jack, I'm about to rip this place down. So I confidently go into the closing bit, and they stand up. That's what I'm talking about. I walk off the stage, and the MC in the back's like, the feature lady, the booker, the audience, pat me as I walk down. Just did it. Just successfully did it. Just did it. As it turns out, it was easy. It was not that big of a deal because I had been doing it for a while now. It's not that big of a deal. I successfully closed that show. And now I had moved up to that's now my spot in the show now. I'm now a closer and everybody knows it. I didn't know it. I was in the green room like that inside. I was the thing before I was the thing. I was already good enough to close comedy clubs. I was already good enough to do 45 minutes. I was already good enough to do an hour. I was already good enough to do 2 hours if I chose to. I was the thing before I was the thing. And that happens to a lot of people, doesn't it? You're the thing before you were the thing, and you didn't even know you were the thing. But I'm telling you right now, you're probably closer to being the thing than you think you are. Look at yourself objectively. The things you need to do to accomplish the things you need to accomplish, to win to this, to get to that. Can you do those things? Yeah? Okay. It's not up to you. The world has to catch up to what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Let me ask you a question, because I know that I'm the thing before the world knows I'm the thing. Are you the thing before the world knows you're the thing? I bet you are. All right, quick update. I made a mistake in the podcast when I was recording it. I spoke about my buddy in the present tense, but he has passed away. I have this bad habit of talking about people that I care about. If they pass away, I have this bad habit of talking about them in the present tense, like my uncles. Your uncles were funny. And I'm like, yeah, my uncles are funny. No, they were funny because they passed away. In this particular case, this buddy of mine, what I should have said and would have been more accurate would be to say, we hadn't seen each other for a while at the time that he passed, but we were still cool. That's what I meant. I didn't mean to talk about him like he was still here, because I could hear my friends now going, yo, man, we were at the funeral. You were at the funeral. You got something to tell us about something? Is he still alive? No. I just have a bad habit of talking about people in the present tense. So that's what I meant. When he passed away, we hadn't seen each other in a while, but we were still cool. That's what I meant. Just to clarify. Okay, that's enough. See you.